you're giving back to the community in a way that is pretty magical. How does that make you feel when you see the success and the growth continuing to occur for the Confess Project?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is I'm still taking it in day by day. I still don't think I've taken in the full level of impact that it has.
My name is Kevin Hines. I jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. I believed that I had to die, but I lived. Now I help people be here tomorrow.
We've recently come here to Atlanta. Atlanta has 4 million people here in the metro Atlanta area. Imagining that over time of taking advantage of that geographical expansion and population and saying that we will change the way that mental health care is shows up for communities of color, particularly for Black communities. And so I think that's remarkable to take a place as Atlanta, Georgia, and thinking about what does the other larger metropolitan cities look like? Could we do this in New York? Could we do this in LA? Absolutely. Because at this point now we have more people and we realize that a lot of this data that we're going out collecting, when you think about over a period of time that, we really can be game changing. And I think it gives me hope. It gives me hope and understanding that we will reach people. And sometimes I may not meet them personally, but I know that the barbers that we're in contact with, that they're in good hands because they've had, the interaction and the training and the incredible support through our organization. And so that what gives me hope is that the men's lives are being transformed. They're transforming children and families' lives in a barbershop, uniquely daily. And that's really exciting.
Broader changes, what would you like to see in our culture for the suicide prevention and behavioral health movement? What are some changes you think are necessary and that you personally would like to see?
That's a good question. Personally, I can see that the mental health and suicide prevention landscape could, a lot of times we talk about being, culturally competent, understanding that, communities come from a different lens. What I see a part of that movement is to really pay attention to the small things that are happening. So like the Confess Project is still even a small movement now, and we're going to continue to grow to become a larger movement over time. And I think that there's a lot of unique people, organizations, people with great ideas that have new ways to do things and helping people innovatively. And I believe that a lot of our system and the way that we've may have always traditionally done things, may be time to really take a pivot. And so what I challenge the suicide and mental health behavior movement is to take that pivot. And whatever that may look like, sometimes that may be as hard, when the DSMVs and some of these, very credible publications and trainings were really made, we're in a much different time and climate now in America where a pivot is definitely necessary. And so whether that's being a part of endorsing the Confess Projects movement, or maybe that's a part of supporting someone else's movement that's working with women and girls or with veterans, I think we're definitely at a time where pivoting and thinking outside the box is the reality now and getting people the care that they deserve. Right now, there are people across the country that are really struggling. Maybe you're going through a hard time at this moment. Maybe we're dealing with something right now in the middle of a pandemic. Maybe it's from a loss. And beyond that, there's always hope on the other side. There's a quote that I always like to mention from Martin Luther King. Darkness doesn't drive out darkness, only light can do that. So as we continue to live in the light and knowing that there's light on the other side of the tunnel, that there's always a possibility of becoming our best self and realizing that whatever the pain is that you're dealing with, and what remarkably how that's maybe taking over your spirit, to know that there's always light and possibilities, and just to continue to fight to get to that light. And I can see that there's only great things to come and blossom from that.
Lorenzo, thank you very much.
I appreciate it, man.
For your time, brother. Amazing.
If this video helped you, inspired you, or you think it could help someone you know, please take a second to share this video. Your share could save a life. And whatever you do, fight to be well. Be here tomorrow.